Hey guys, hey everybody, it's October 9th, 2019, and this is your boy Vulcan Wolverine, aka Vulcan Wolverine 2. So I went to my appointment with Dr. Hoffer this morning at 11. I actually got to speak to him twice for pretty long periods of time. He is an ENT, he's an ear, he's an ear, nose, and throat doctor, an otolaryngologist. So like he couldn't really do anything with my DTIs, but he kind of pointed me in the right direction. You know, he's saying that I need to get in contact with the University of Pennsylvania so that they can, you know, I'm going to talk to them and send my DTIs to check the white matter tracks. He gave me a lot of helpful information though. One of the questions, and now I'm going to do a live stream, either a live stream or a longer video tonight, but I just wanted to do a video kind of updating you guys. My attackers hit me really hard before the appointment, you know, the days coming up to the appointment. But he's a really nice guy. He did recommend, you know, he kind of explained why the noise-canceling hearing aids work so well to stop the targeting, because he says a lot of it has to do, and he kind of confirmed, you know, what I've been saying, and a lot of us have been saying, that it's a kind of a cycle with the vestibular system to the brain and the nervous system, and it's affecting this specific part of the inner ear. So the noise-canceling hearing aids are putting a good frequency back to the inner ear, fighting basically the negative frequencies that our attackers are kind of looping from that certain part of the inner ear to the brain and the nervous system, which seems to be one of the angles of the targeting. You know, he did say that you know, I did not present some specific, like, even though this does hurt my balance and gives me headaches and things like that, there was something very specific with the Cuban embassy workers, like a specific thing that they presented that he said that I didn't present, but like a specific way that they're unbalanced. I didn't really understand that, and you know, he didn't want to give out the detail of exactly what that is, understandably, because you know, he doesn't want a bunch of people just making up that symptom. But it did go very well. You know, one of the questions that I asked him, I was like, you know, are people working on this? When is this going to end soon? You know, are people trying to help the targeted individuals, especially in America, you know, the citizens who are being experimented on and tortured? And he didn't say anything, but he was like I was like, is this gonna come to an end soon? Is this, you know, is this being worked on? And he like really nodded, you know, so that kind of gave me a lot of hope. So it was a good appointment. You know, it was good, but he's a doctor. I tried to ask him as many of the questions as I had written down, but we didn't get into a lot of theoretical stuff. You know, he was seeing the Cuban embassy workers. I thought that the Department of Justice was getting him to see the Cuban embassy workers. It's actually the Department of Defense that he was doing that for. So, and he said, you know, he was like, it's not the Department of Defense doing this, which I was just thinking, you know, oh, well, he's probably working, or he's probably did it for a certain compartmentalized part of the Department of Defense, and they don't know what other compartments of the Department of Defense are doing. We just didn't get into a lot of the theoretical conversations of what is happening, but he did say, you know, the noise-canceling hearing aids are going to help it a lot, but he said that, you know, I should not wear them at night because the ears, the outer and inner ears, have to heal. He's not saying, he was saying, well, I'm not telling you not to wear them at night because of the targeting or anything, but he says your inner and outer ears have to kind of heal. So he recommended for I'm in Miami right now, so the airport's like right there, so we get flyovers like every once in a while. It's not gang stalking or anything like that. There has been vehicular stalking like right when I got here, so you know, DHS fusion centers are just stalking me as I think as a GPS point. As a person of interest GPS. It was really weird on the way to the appointment. on the way to the appointment, one of the stoplights was stopped, and all these fire trucks and everything. The light was stopped for like 15 minutes, so we were almost late. So some weird stuff going on. I guess I do want to say, like, the targeting has been less intense. And on the plane ride here for about 30 minutes, I didn't hear the V2K. So it kind of made me think I might have, you know, a non-consensual implant in my ear. But he looked in both ears very quickly, so I'm uncertain about it. There's some things that it's like it went so fast, the appointment went so fast, that I've got to go through with what, you know, go over what he said. My mom took notes too. I was kind of glad about that. I mean, he was specifically saying, he's like, yeah, I totally believe that you're targeted. But he's like different. These directed energy weapons affect different people differently, and you know, they're different on different people. I hope I'm making that clear. I don't know. But he also mentioned that a big thing about this is specific toxins, and I forgot the name of what he said. Let me see if I wrote that down. Calitrates or something like that. There's something called calitrates, and him and Dr. James Giordano, you know, Dr. James Giordano talks about this a lot. Certain toxins in different targeted individuals, so that the directed energy that's hitting you will affect you a certain way. And he says that's a big part of it. He says that's a big part of the targeting and experimentation. But he never, you know, he didn't say anything specifically. He wasn't like, oh, in the experimentation and torture in America. It was kind of a general conversation. But he gave me a lot of, like, a lot of kind of good insights, and, you know, he completely believed me. But the weird thing is, like, the Cuban embassy workers presented with some kind of balance issue in a very specific way, and that makes sense because they were probably being hit with the integrated directed energy weapon systems that they were being hit with are probably a little bit different than what I'm being hit and what some target individuals are being hit with. The problem is he's not a neurologist. I saw an otolaryngologist, so I thought he was like a neurologist and an inner ear doctor, but he is really an ENT. So my DTI, I'm gonna have to go and bring that to, or I'm gonna have to send it to University of Pennsylvania and talk to them, which I should have already done a long time ago. So the appointment went well. It went good. You know, talking to him went good. I can't remember a lot of it because I have memory issues, but I wrote a lot of it down. So I am going to do like a more detailed, more detailed video. I think the thing is, it's like, I don't know whether or not to recommend for targeted individuals to come all the way to Miami if you're coming from across country, because he's recommending the noise-canceling hearing aids and the noise-canceling headphones. I asked him about specific medications to block this, specific like nerve blockers or supplements or anything like that, and he didn't seem to know exactly like anything really specific. I'm trying to remember, like, me and my mom both kind of took notes. I tried to ask as many of those questions as I wrote down. He didn't give me an email. I took a picture with him. My mom was like, "Oh, you're my son's hero," and he was like, "Well, I didn't really help that much." But I got a picture taken with him, so that's cool. Really nice guy, just really nice guy. Really, really good doctor. It was like a doctor's appointment. Dude, it's a constant, because we're like, we got a hotel right next to the airport. I want to kind of keep this at 15 minutes so I can upload it really quick. There's some more specifics, some good news and stuff like that, and he did point me in the right direction, so I think I'm going to be following up with the University of Pennsylvania. He said that he would do the eye tracking tests and all those. He doesn't do those tests though, so it would be a neurologist here. So I'm gonna pursue that probably in Baton Rouge, like doing some of the balance tests and stuff like that, because he doesn't do those tests. He was mostly for the Cuban embassy workers checking damage to the inner ear. I guess I would say if you're a targeted individual, and they did a hearing test on me, like, I got to talk to Dr. Hoffer like twice, and in between they did a hearing test for me, which I had pretty normal hearing, pretty good hearing, except a little bit worse on the left side, which kind of makes sense, because a lot of my stuff is on the left side. Yeah, well, not most of my stuff is on the left side, but a lot of it is that pain on the left side there. So there's some good stuff that came from this, especially because my mom came with me, and he was just like talking to us like, yeah, I mean, he totally believes that I'm targeted. The big thing, and I can't remember if I said this on this video. Yeah, I did. I talked about that. I was like, so is this, I mean, are doctors and you know, people with power in this country, or is something coming soon that's gonna stop this? And he didn't say anything, but he was like exactly like this. He was like, you know, like, yeah, you know, this, like, hopeful stuff is coming soon about this. I don't know how to take that. I guess I'm not disappointed, because I was just kind of hoping for a bigger miracle here, but yeah. That's not the airport's like right there, so there's flying out, in and out all day. Trying to think if there's anything I forgot. If there is, guys, I just wanted to let y'all know I am done with the appointment. He's not going to do, I mean, he can't really do the kind of testing that I need. So I want to just tell y'all that, but he does know that we're targeted. So he said a lot of targeted individuals have come to see him. It seems like the recommendation is the noise-canceling hearing aids that help not only with the V2K, but the remote neural manipulation, and then the noise-canceling headphones called Beats, B-E-A-T-S. But it seems like those are his recommendations. So I don't know if I'd be like, hey, everybody go and make an appointment and see him. I think if you're in Florida, it would probably be a good idea. If you have damage to your hearing, you know, like extensive damage to your hearing, which I don't. But I guess if you have extensive damage to your hearing, it might be a good idea